Are you ready for a little stretch? Hi everyone, Cristin here, and we are continuing with our Ginger's Kitchen bench pillow with our sponsor, Binded by Stitches. So we have all of section 1 complete. How fun is that? I'm loving seeing all of your progress on our Cristin Creates Facebook page. So we have all of section 1, and then we also, some of us also have an extra. We're ahead. How cool is that? All right, so today we are going to stretch just a little bit. It won't be painful, I promise. So I was looking over our next part, and there's actually 18 blocks that I hope to accomplish, and I'm going to do them in 5 hoopings. All right, so that means we're going to do some stretching on this next part. So, but we're going to ease into it. Don't worry, it's going to be really easy, I promise. All right, so today we are going to work on 2 blocks. So we are going to do the tree cookie block. It's on page 7. So let's talk about that one first. If you made packets, grab your packet for the tree cookie. And these packets are great. If you haven't already, I highly suggest getting them from my Amazon storefront. I will add a link here. It has all of the items that I recommend, including shirts to embroider and all of the fun things. So tree cookie. This is a really simple block with a couple of different elements. So let's go ahead and talk about that. I don't seem to have batting. Why don't I have batting? What did I do with that? Hold on, I gotta find my batting. All right, sorry about that. Somehow my batting ran away. I don't know what happened to it. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about what we need for our tree cookie block today. So the tree cookie block is on page 7 of our PDF. And like I said, it's a very simple block. So let's go ahead and talk about what we need. So the first thing is our main fabric, and our main fabric is this red, I think it's called tufted. It's got little flowers on it, red and pink. And we're going to start with this at 6.5 by 6.5, 6.5 by 6.5 for this main fabric. Always back your main fabric at least. I do pretty much all of my fabrics, but at least your main fabric, make sure to back that with the fusible backing. All right, fusible stabilizer of some sort. All right, 6.5 by 6.5 for our main fabric. All right, and then I don't think I had a substitute from our sponsor, so hopefully that means everybody got that one. I'll add information if I see that there was a substitute. So, and then we have the actual cookie. So the cookie is the, well, I guess it's not the actual cookie, it's the cookie frosting, I should say. So the frosting is green, and the original one is this green with multi-Christmas dots on it. All right, and I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. Like I said, I like to do that on my applique pieces. So this one we're going to have at 3.5 by 4, and like I said, this is the original one. This has been discontinued, so you may have received this one from our sponsor. It is the green doodle fabric. For some reason I cut both. I'm extra special, I get both. So you can have either the Christmas doodles or the Christmas dots. Either one will work fine. 3.5 by 4. I'm not sure why I cut both, but I will save one of them, obviously. So 3.5 by 4, that's for the frosting on our cookie. And then the actual cookie is felt. So the felt is that tan, it's called cookie felt. No, it's called felt. It just says felt. So I think that this might be the gingerbread one from Kimberbell. I'm not absolutely sure of that, if that's the correct name, but it's definitely the Kimberbell felt. So we're going to have this be 4 by 4.5. This is for the cookie of our Christmas tree. Christmas tree. Sorry. I'm trying to go too fast. 4 by 4.5 for our piece of felt. Do not back felt with anything. Leave it as it is. All right. And that's all the pieces that we need. So then we are going to we're going to quilt this in the hoop. And whenever we quilt in the hoop, we always use our batting. Don't let your batting run away from you like mine did today. So our batting is going to be 5 by 5. That means our final cut size on this block is 4.5 by 4.5. So we want a piece of batting that is 5 by 5. All right. And then you can quilt this with any quilting design that you want that is 4 by 4. Any quilting design that's 4 by 4. I'm going to use Tree 1 in a 4 by 4. Oh, you know what? I have or tree one because I actually was going to use Christmas 3. So Christmas 3 must be the one with the trees on it, but there's also a tree one that is super cute. So I'm not sure yet which one I'm going to use. They're both really cute and they both have trees on them. So I think that would be really fun. So what I might do is I might pull both of them into that design and see which one looks the best with it. Because the cookie tree actually takes up a lot of the fabric. So any quilting design that you want, that's 4x4, and I'll decide when I get there, either between Christmas 3 or tree 1. All right, so that is all that we need for the tree cookie, and I'm going to talk to you about another block in just 1 second. All right, now since we have some room in our hoop, now keep in mind that you can do the tree cookie and then do this other one separately. You can absolutely do that, or you can join them together to save some stabilizer, save time, all of that. So I'm going to do them in one hooping. If I recall, they fit in a 6x10 hoop. So I'm going to bring you over to the computer and show you how to do that in just a minute, but let's talk about that second block. So for the second block today, we're just going to do one border block, one simple border block. It's a big one though. It's a 4x4, and so it will take away some space later that we're going to need. All right, so I grouped all of these in different ways to make them work so that we can utilize the best of time management and space and all of that. So we're going to work on this this border block. So this one is number 7. It's number 7 border block. It's shown on page 11, but they're not numbered. They're my personal numbers that I made. So this is border block number 7. You can see it's the red with white dots, big white dots on it. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. We're going to quilt this. Now a border block, I cut mine, I believe I cut it to 5x5. So if you want, if you're able to, if you didn't already, if you cut before the prep video, then if you have 4.5x4.5 is the official size, and that will work fine. Or if you have the fabric available, I would cut it to 5x5. That's my preference when I am doing the border blocks that aren't attached to others, like I mentioned in yesterday's video. So 5x5 or 4.5x4.5, either one will work. Our final cut size will be 4.5x4.5. So you just don't want that quilting and embroidery, anything that you put on it, to pull in those stitches. All right. So like I said, the red with white dots, it is the number 7. And you can just quilt that, leave it as is, or you can add to it. So I'm going to add to it. I decided a single letter monogram would be really fun, and I found a really pretty one on Stitchtopia. So I'm going to bring you over to the computer and show you how to add that in and how to merge these 2 blocks into one hooping. I didn't write down what quilting design that I want to use on that one, so I'm going to take a look at that as well. But you can use any quilting design on this border block that is 4x4. All right, 4x4. And like I said, I'm going to add a monogram. So I don't want a quilting design that's too busy. You know what? I think I'll do a plaid. I think plaid would be really cute with a monogram on it. So that's what I'm leaning toward. And I think there's 3 or 4 different plaid designs from Kimberbell. So I'll take a look at that. But anyway, for now, the tree cookie and a one border block, the 4.5x4.5, which I'm cutting a little bit bigger, and I'm going to add a monogram to it, and I'll show you how to do that if you're interested. And real quick on that, that border block, you're going to want a piece of batting that is 5x5. All right, 5x5 for your border block batting today. Hi everyone, so I'm at my computer now, and I'm going to quickly show you how to merge 2 blocks together in one hooping and how to add a monogram if you choose. So I'm going to open up Embellishment Essentials. Looks like I have quite a bit open. I'm going to go to File, New Page. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and change my hoop size. So first off, right down here at the bottom, it shows that I'm on my 9x14 hoop. I'm pretty sure I can do this in a 6x10 hoop. So I'm going to go up to this Preferences folder, click on that, and choose my 6x10 hoop and say OK. And then I like to click this compass button and H for hoop so that it zooms into the hoop. All right, so I'm going to start by bringing in the quilting design. So for the Christmas tree cookie, I've decided on the cookie, what is it, Christmas 3 font, or not font, sorry, quilting design. So I'm going to open up Ginger's Kitchen. That's where I have my quilting files. and I'm just going to drag it over. I can make this smaller. You can do it this way, or you can go to that merge stitch file button right here and navigate to where you have the design. So here's my Christmas tree. I'm going to double click on that, and embroidery files, block by block, Pez is what I use. And I know that I want a 4x4 design for this block. So right there, 4x4, I'm going to just click it and drag it over to the workspace. How easy is that? I like that. All right, so there's my Christmas quilting design. I'm going to bring this, now that I think about it, I'm going to have to make sure that they're both lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move this now. I'm just going to click the up arrow on my keyboard and bring the block all the way up to the top. All right, and then I'm going to bring in my next quilting design, which I chose plaid for the border block. So I'm going to go back to my designs here, quilt files, and plaid one right there. That's the one that I'm going to use for my border block. So embroidery files, Pez, and I want a 4x4 again. So right there, 4x4, click it and drag it over. It goes to the center. So I'm just going to click on that design. Make sure you've got just that design. You have to click on the stitching, otherwise it doesn't work. And then I'm going to just click the down arrow and bring it down to the bottom. Okay. So you can see the 6x10 hoop fits very well. If your biggest hoop is a 5x7, you would just do them separately, and that's easy to do, no problem. All right, so now I have those default blues and oranges that I'm going to have to change to, but before I do a color sort, I want to make sure to have the other two designs brought in, so the monogram and the Christmas tree. So I'm going to want to make some changes here. I think there's a couple of ways to do this. I'm going to go ahead and close these for now just to shrink it down. I'm going to bring in, let's see, I'm going to bring in the Christmas tree design first. I'm going to open up that folder again, go back to where I have my Ginger's Kitchen designs, embroidery files, Pez, and I'm looking for the Christmas tree cookie right there. Click it, drag it over, it'll go to the center. And I'm going to want to align this with this block. So for now, I'm just going to bring it up. I'm clicking it and dragging it up. And let's see how close we can get it. But I'm still going to make sure that it's correct too. Okay, so I'm just kind of guessing there. So what I'm going to do while I have this, I'm going to close this and click outside so nothing is selected. I am going to go to utility. Actually, I think I have to click on them first. So if I click on number 1, the quilting design, and then click the control button and click on number 3, design. So you can see I've got the first quilting design and the tree design. And I'm going to go to utility, align and distribute. And I'm going to say center, center. I want it centered in that block. And let's just watch and see how much it moves so we can see how close we were. Click apply. And it moved down just a little bit. All right. So now we know that that's lined up within that block just right. So that's good. And look at the tree. That's really cute. I like that. That's fun. All right. So I clicked outside so nothing is selected. We've got our plaid design. Now I want to bring in a monogram. I have purchased a monogram from Stitchtopia. The one I'm using is called Notting Hill, and it's super cute. And I downloaded it, but I didn't extract it or anything, so I can show you how to do that if you're curious about that. So when you purchase, I bought from Stitchtopia, I downloaded it, went to my desktop, and it is a zipped file. So I'm going to double click on that zipped file, and I'm going to click on extract all. Extract. All right, and then I like to close the folders, and then I go to the zipped one and I delete it. All right, and then I reopen the one that has the unzipped file. So here it is. I downloaded the BX version. You can get any version. Obviously, I like the BX ones because they work incredibly with Embrilliance. So all you do, this is so easy, you guys. So I'm going to click on these BX files. You can see them right here. There's 1 inch to 3.5 inch. And these are the BX files. And then look at this. You just drag them over to the desktop and look at what it says. These have all now been installed. That's how easy it is. You literally click on the BX font and drag it over to the desktop and it installs them for you. All right, so that's done. We don't need to worry about anything like that anymore. And now I want to go ahead and I want to make a monogram. So I'm going to go to this A, create letters, click on that. And then I'm going to choose S or C. I guess I'll do S for my last name. All right, and I'm going to say return. All right, so now what it did is it made, I'm going to move this over because my head's probably in your way. All right, so I made an S and it will open up to this block style font or maybe something that you used recently. I don't recall exactly now, but if I click on this arrow here, see, I'm in the properties window. Don't forget, if you don't have your properties window, you go up to this view menu and make sure that you've got all of them selected so that you can see everything. Okay, so in this properties window, I am going to click on this arrow here where it says the font that's used. So the text is the S. That's the S that I put in for my last name. And then here is the font, and it's on this block font, which you get this free when you purchase Embellishment Essentials. There's like, I don't know, 3 to 5 or more. I don't remember how many. You receive some fonts that are native to this program. So I'm going to click on this arrow, and then I need to try and find that, what was it called? Notting Hill by Stitchtopia. And I think Stitchtopia does their name first and then the font. Yeah, so here I can see my Stitchtopia fonts. So I'm just looking for Notting Hill right there, and then I need to determine what size I think I'll want. Maybe like, I'll try a 2.5 inch. That might be too big. Let's just see. So if I click on this, it's going to change that S right here to this new font in this new size. So I'm going to click on that and look at that. How pretty that is. How fun is that? So I'm going to take that and I'm going to drag it down here. It looks like I might even be able to do a 3 inch. So I'm going to just check and see. So I'm going to click on that arrow and I'm going to click on the 3 inch, and that looks pretty good. I like that. That's pretty fun. How cute is that with these little hearts and the decorative? That is really, really cute. I like that font. That's a fun one. All right, so I want to do the same thing I did with the tree. I want to make sure that it is aligned correctly with this block. So to do that, I'm going to click on number 2. That's the quilting design. And then hit that control button on your keyboard and click on the letter that you've imported in for your monogram. All right, so that I have both of these files, and I'm going to go to Utility, Align and Distribute, and I'm going to say Center, Center, Apply, and you can see it moved up and to the right a little bit. All right, so now that one is centered. That is really cute. All right, so that was super easy, but we have those default blues and oranges. We can't do a color sort, and I definitely want to do a color sort just so that I'm not doing the batting twice. That's the biggest thing, is I want it to run through the quilting steps all at the same time, just to save on time. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's see. If I were to do it now, I have to change the colors, of course, and then I might be able to, since I've already got them aligned and distributed, let's just try. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to open up number 1, and this is number 1 design, and I'm going to click on the first color, this 1, and then click down here in the properties window on the color, and I'm going to change it to the first color that comes up for me, whatever color works for you. I'm going to change it to dark aqua and say okay. And the purpose is just so that I can make it do a color sort, but we're going to have to see how that works with the tree and the monogram, because there might be additional colors that we've used in there too. There probably will be a default blue and orange. We'll have to change those colors. Anyway, so that was number 1. So 1, 2, click on the color. I'm going to change it to the first color that comes up, which for me is Blaze. 1, 3, click on the color, and I already used dark aqua. You can see it right there. So I'm going to use the second color down, which is Marine for me. All right, 1, 4, click on the color. I'm going to use the second color, which is Oriole. And then on this, the quilting, one is on a red block. What was the second one? Oh, the second one was a red block. What was the tree? I think that was red too, wasn't it? I gotta peek real quick here. I don't remember off the top of my head. So there's the one that we're using. And yep, they're both red. One's a lighter red. So you could keep them the same, or you can choose. I'm going to keep them separate just so I can choose the quilting color. All right, so 1, 5, click on the color, and the first color that comes up for me is Sprout. All right, that one is done. Now I'm going to go to number 2. So you just click that plus to open up that folder. All right, and then 2-1, click on the color, and I'm going to change it to the same color I used up here. All right, so I want dark aqua. And then 2-2, click on the color, I want blaze. 2-3, click on the color, I want marine. 2-4, click on the color, and I want Oriole. If you ever forget your colors, you can always see them right here. All right, and then I'm going to change the color on this. I might do them the same, but I want that choice. I just want it to stop so that I have a minute to change my thread if I choose. So I'm going to click on 2-5, click on the color. Second color down is sea green. All right, so those are done. I'm going to just close those up. Now, number 3, we have cyan and orange and white. I don't think we had any cyan and orange. So these would join together. If you were to leave these alone, they would join together, and you would have to put your felt and your icing down at the same time, and it would make it hard to cut and not good. And so I'm going to go ahead and change those. I'm going to leave one cyan and orange. I'm going to go to 3-3, click on the color, and we already used marine in our quilting, if I recall. So I'm going to use Hawaiian blue. Say okay. Again, it doesn't matter what color, you just want it to be different so that it won't join with your other colors. So on 3-4, click on the color. I'm choosing Halloween, just so that they're different. All right, and then we have white, and that's fine because we don't have white anywhere else. And then this one is just one simple letter. Make sure it's not the same color. It's Wilcom Cyan. So I don't think I do. I have a Wilcom Cyan here already. So we have to make sure to change that. Otherwise it might join with this. It may not, but it might. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose tropical. I'm going to choose robin's egg just so it looks different. All right. So again, you're just changing the color so that the things that you want to join will join and the things you don't want to join will not. All right, so I'm going to close those. Now you have to be careful when you're adding a monogram. You want to make sure it's going where you want it. It's at the end, so that's perfect. No problems there. All right, so I think we could do a color sort. We're going to have to check it closely and make sure that it's accurate, but I think that we're ready. So we have our blocks where we want them. We have them aligned. The top embroidery piece with the quilting, I think that we're all good. So I'm going to go to Utility, Color Sort, and we currently have 16 color steps. It says it's reduced it by 4. I'm going to click New View so that I can check and see what it thinks is correct. And I'm going to open this up. Now everything is in one design. That's why you want to make sure that everything is aligned just right perfectly, because once it's color sorted, it's all one design and you can't do any movement of the designs. All right, so we have our placement for our batting, our tack down of our batting, our placement for our main fabric, our tack down for our main fabric, the first quilting design, the second quilting design, and then we have the tree felt applique and the tree felt tack down and the tree icing fabric applique piece placement stitch and the tack down of the icing, and then we have the satin stitching and decorative stitching for the icing, and then we have our monogram. That's perfect, pretty fun. I'm going to do a file, save stitch file as, and I am going to name it as Cookie and Mono, and I'm going to say 6 by 10 so I remember what hoop size I'm using, and say save. All right, now you could save it directly to your USB stick. Normally I would now send it to my machine, but my machine's not turned on yet, so I'll do that in a moment. But that was really easy, and look we've got this really fun monogram. I'm pretty excited about that. That's really cute. All right, I can't wait to see what you put on your border block if you decide to embellish it in some way. It is a busy fabric, so you can leave it as is or you can add to it. It's totally up to you. Let's get stitching. wearing an embroidered shirt today, so I'm going to show you that. It is really cute. If you know my car, it actually matches my car pretty well. So this is a fun design. If I recall, I think it was from Bows and Clothes. I will add a link underneath this video, and I added wording. It says find adventure and then with an arrow. How cute is that? I think that that is just so fun. I don't remember the font that I used for the wording, but if I have it, I will add that information underneath this video. And how are you doing with your goal? So as you know, I'm picking a couple of words this project and just talking about that. So I want to talk about character. All right. So that's not actually the word for today, but character. If you think about some character traits, think about a character trait and add a note in the comments below of this YouTube video and tell me a character trait that you think is a really good one to have. I'll give you a couple of minutes to think about it. Dun, 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 dun. Did you think of one? So kindness is a really good one, right? That one immediately comes to mind for me, but that's not the one I'm going to choose today. I'm going to choose integrity. I think integrity is probably one of the most important in my book, right? So I'm curious to hear a character trait that is a good one for you that I want to hear about from you. But for me, I'm going to go with integrity today. So if you think about integrity, so if you are a person with high morals, good integrity, you know that your people can count on you. If you say that you're going to do something, they know you're going to do it. You don't talk behind people's back. You're not a backstabber. You've got a good moral compass, right? If you have integrity, to me, that kind of encapsulates all of it. It's so important. So that's my word for today. I want to hear what you think is a really good character trait.